Today, I will be talking about what it's really like to build a home from dirt to completion in the Houston suburbs. I'm going to go over everything from timelines to deposits to my own personal opinions on wise selections throughout the entire process. That way, you can sort out what is a rumor and what is real when it comes to building a home in Texas. Hello and welcome. I am Danielle and I am a realtor here in the Houston area, and I help families either find or build their dream home before relocating to Houston. If you are looking to move to the Houston area and would like assistance, feel free to message me. I love to help you out. And if you aren't quite ready to email me to go house hunting, but you still want to keep tabs, I also post daily information over on Instagram about living in the Houston suburbs. I apologize, this will be a longer than average video, but I have a lot of information I want to share with you, and I want to make sure that you are aware of all the steps and costs involved in building a home, so bear with me. And just real quick, these are preliminary steps. This is not what the video is about, but these are things that you need to do before you begin your process with the builder. Step one is to get a pre-approval. You want to know how much you can afford with your new build. And step two is to get a realtor to work with, particularly one that has a lot of experience with new home sales. They're going to help you research builders and give you reputable recommendations. And they're also going to help you research and find a community that not only works with your family and needs, but will also add appreciation and value to your new home construction. You don't want to build in a community where the value of your new home will go down in years to come. Once you have a builder picked out, the next thing is to pick out a floor plan that you really like. And during this time, the sales agent and your realtor will go over all the possible structural changes that can be made to this floor plan. Structural changes include things like adding square footage, extending the back patio, and changing around a bathroom. Once you've kind of picked out what structural changes you'd like to make to a floor plan, your sales agent should be able to give you a general quote of what this would change the base price to. Something to keep in mind is that starter homes and high production builders sometimes have limited things that you can do structurally to the floor plan. However, once you get into the mid-tier builders and custom builders, the availability of what can be changed widens greatly. Now is the time you're going to pick your lot to build the house on, and there are a lot of considerations to look at when choosing a lot. If you are trying to stick to a budget and spend as little as possible, then I would recommend you go with a standard lot. A standard lot means that there are no premium features to it, and sometimes the standard is included in the base price of the house. I would say currently only about half the builders are offering standard lots. Typically, the lot is going to end up costing you anything from $0 to $365,000 is the most I've seen most recently for a town lake waterfront lot. $365,000 is a little excessive, and that's not typical. On average, you're going to look for a 50-foot lot or less. The average lot premium is anywhere from $3,000 to $25,000, and for a lot over 60 foot, you're looking anywhere from $7,000 to about $55,000 on average. Premium lots usually include things like no back neighbors, corner lots, waterfront lots, larger than normal yard lots, and from a resale perspective, a lot of these things do add value. So if you're able to, I would recommend getting a premium lot somewhere in the middle that has at least one of these features. And another tip is that if you look in brand new communities or with builders that are opening brand new sections, sometimes you can get these premium things at a lower cost. In fact, I just recently had a client look in a brand new community, in a brand new section, and he was able to get a no back facing lot at zero cost. Once you pick the lot and the floor plan, then it is time to put the earnest money down and begin the contract with the builder. The earnest money amount will vary from builder to builder. I've seen anything from a flat rate of $5,000 to $10,000 or a percentage of the base price ranging from 1 to 10%. There are a lot of things that the builder considers when coming up with the earnest money amount. Some of these things include if there are any current incentives, if you're using their preferred lender, and if you are military. So make sure remember to ask before you pay the earnest money. And once you start the contract, they are going to need more immediate decisions from you, which can be very hard and overwhelming. Not only do they need your lot selections, your floor plan selection, and your structural selections, they'll also need your exterior selections before you can sign. The reason that they need this is that the builders have to follow the developer's rules and guidelines on how many houses of the same type, color, and style they can build on each street. So they are trying to lock you in immediately with your choices so that if someone else comes along, they can't take what you would like. They usually refer to the exterior of the home as an elevation, and usually builders have anywhere from 1 to 10 elevations to choose from, with a few of them being standard, and they will also have several non-standard elevations to choose from, which will naturally be more appealing and trendy. Again, if you are trying to stick to a budget, try to pick one of the standard ones. From a resale perspective, when buyers go to look at homes, they're mostly focusing on the neighborhood and the interior of the home. So unless the exterior is absolutely hideous, this thing will often be not a big deal in the future. After the elevation comes the colors and trim selection, and you are going to get overwhelmed with the amount of color combination and brick selection they have. My recommendation is to come with 1 to 3 styles in mind, and also drive the neighborhood or drive another neighborhood the builder builds in and take pictures of exteriors that you like. This will help you eliminate what you don't like and come up with a decision fairly fast. Next, they will add your structural changes to the contract. Keep in mind that structural changes are anything that will permanently change the floor plan, and these are not design center options. For some builders, they do want a deposit for the structural changes, and this can be anywhere from 25 to 50% of the cost of the structural changes. However, there are also many builders who do not require a deposit for the structural changes. So after you've made all your selections and you've paid the earnest money, you've signed the contract, the sales agent of the builder will submit the contract for final review and approval from the builder. Once this is all approved, within a few days, the design center will call you to make an appointment. Depending on the builder and the size of your house, the design center appointment will be anywhere from 1 to 3 appointments, and they will last anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. And because of today's market and all the shortages, the builders are encouraging you to make the design center appointment within a week or 2 of signing your contract. That way they have plenty of time to order all the things for your house. Occasionally, builders will let you preview the selections and pricing online prior to the design center appointment, or sometimes while they're writing the contract, they can give you a ballpark estimate of some of the bigger ticket design center items. However, for the most part, the builders are going to make you wait until the design center appointment to preview the design upgrades as well as the pricing. This can give one a lot of anxiety when you're just trying to budget and figure out what to expect in the design center appointment. If it is a starter home or a high production builder, sometimes your design center appointment will be easy peasy, as they only have 1 to 6 packages to choose from, which would include your flooring, your coloring, your cabinets, everything in one package with little to no room to change anything. You just pick one package and that's that. If you are going with a mid-tier builder to a semi-custom or custom home builder, then your design center appointments are going to be much more in-depth. And if this is you, then you really want to think about and prioritize what's most important to you prior to the design center appointment. It's really hard to say how much you'll end up spending in the design center. Some buyers opt for all standards and plan on redoing it once they move in. And then there's other buyers who want a 100% hands-off approach and want their dream home and the house turnkey ready, and they end up spending a lot more money in the design center. A good starting point though is if you are building a mid-tier builder and the house is under 3,000 square feet, it's safe to say you'll probably spend around $10,000 to $20,000. And if the house is over 3,000 square feet, you'll probably spend $20,000 to $40,000 or more in the design center. Also, some builders have a higher base price that includes a lot more standard upgraded features, and then there's other builders who start at a lower base price and make it up in the design center where you pick your design selections yourself. Anyways, besides the big ticket items that most people think of before their design center appointment, there are a ton of small things that are going to come up in the design center appointment that you didn't even think about that you should have a budget for. Some of these things include recessed lighting, pre-wired sound systems, smart home features, security lighting outside, rain gutters, front door selections, door handles, plumbing things like types of toilets, bathtubs, countertop heights, also staircase rods, types of cabinets, flooring for backyard patio, ceiling fan hookups, kitchen sinks and faucets, different grades of countertops. Even the design patterns that you'll pick in the flooring and tile can also have a fee associated with them. So just keep in mind that in addition to the big ticket items, you're also going to have approximately 1,001 other small ticket items to think of. Another thing to keep in mind is that at the design center, they're going to go in a certain flow in order. They're not going to let you pick and choose what your priorities are first. So just keep in mind as you're going through the list and you keep adding things on, that at the end you're going to be able to review the list and take off things if you go over budget. So after the last design center appointment, you will have to sign off on all the selections you made. And once you do this, it is going to be very hard and very expensive to make even the slightest changes to your design center options. So make sure you are absolutely sure in your selections. Usually most builders require some sort of deposit for your design center options. Typically it's about 50% of the upgrades, and they will ask you to pay this immediately upon signing off on your selections. The design center will then send your final selections over to the builder and the construction manager, where they will finalize all the plans and add your upgrades into the plans. After everything is finalized, shortly after this, you will have your pre-construction meeting with the construction manager of your new home. They're going to go over all your final selections one last time to make sure that there were no errors in transmission. Then they're also going to go over the drawings with you and make sure everything is placed exactly where you want it and just verify all the information is true and accurate. After this, he's going to go over the timeline with you, the processes, and answer any questions you have. After this meeting, they will then begin building on your lot within 1 to 2 weeks. And from there, it can take in today's market anywhere from 6 to 10 months until completion. If you are thinking of building a new construction home and would like assistance, feel free to message me. I'd love to help you out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.